Angel Reese's latest stunt has everyone talking, but not in the way she hoped. Whitlock didn't hold back, calling her out for constantly humiliating herself. But what exactly did Reese do this time? She has no interest in playing basketball, and that is the primary difference between Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese. From WNBA All-Star to social media exile, Reese's New Year's Eve outfit choice sent shockwaves through the basketball world. Even her fans are jumping ship. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark's busy breaking records and winning hearts. What's the real story behind these two stars' different paths? Is this the beginning of the end for Reese? Are you ready? Let's go. Have you seen the picture of Angel Reese on New Year's Eve? She barely has any clothes on. It's an OnlyFans type picture. Picture this, it's New Year's Eve, and Angel Reese decides to make a splash, but instead of popping champagne, she's popping eyeballs with her latest attention-grabbing stunt. Our girl Angel struts onto the scene in a dress that leaves nothing to the imagination. We're talking mocha-colored animal print that's more reveal than conceal, with a neckline so low you'd think it's part of the Grand Canyon, and a slit so high it's practically waving hello to 2024. Here's Angel Reese with this picture with her boobs out, with her stomach out, with her presenting herself the way that a lady on OnlyFans would be presenting herself if she were looking for new subscribers. Now, Angel's no stranger to turning heads, but this time, even her loyal fans are hitting the brakes. The internet's buzzing, and not in a good way. It's like watching a car crash in slow motion. You want to look away, but you just can't. And let me tell you, this isn't your run-of-the-mill fashion nightmare. This is Angel Reese cranking the dial to 11 on the attention-o-meter. But here's where it gets interesting. Whitlock, never one to mince words, comes out swinging. He's not pulling any punches when he says, she's gone too far, she's gone way too far. But Whitlock's just getting started. He's suggesting that Angel's more interested in striking a pose than sinking baskets. Is he onto something? You remember people got upset when Shaquille O'Neal went on the Unapologetically Angel podcast and basically said, hey, look, you need to put on some booty shorts and go out there and dunk the ball. That'll have everybody watching. Now, let's be real for a second. When your Instagram following is outpacing your on-court production, you've got to wonder where her head's at. Is she aiming for the WNBA Hall of Fame or the cover of some magazine? Oh wait, she just landed one, as it was just recently revealed that she's the cover girl for Vogue. Shaq said this and people lost their minds. How dare Shaq go on that podcast and talk to this girl this disrespectfully? This is how Angel Reese wants to be discussed. And to some degree, tiny degree, I get it. She plays a sport that is really masculine, really leans into the whole LGBTQ thing, and Angel Reese is trying to lean the other direction. But she's gone too far. Clearly, she's gone way too far. Here's the thing. This isn't Angel's first rodeo with controversy. She's been in hot water before for her provocative posts. But this time, it feels different. It's like she's crossed a line. And even her ride-or-die fans are saying, enough is enough. Whitlock's not just critiquing her fashion choices. He's questioning her commitment to the game. It's a question that's got basketball fans scratching their heads and reaching for the popcorn. So, what's the deal? Is Angel Reese trading in her basketball dreams for Instagram fame? It's a tough call. On one hand, she's got some skill. On the other, her social media game is strong enough to become a full-time influencer. But at what cost? She's not presenting herself in a healthy fashion, and I think at some point, people are going to start asking themselves, does Angel Reese really want to play basketball? It's a different form of the question that Charleston White is talking about. I look at these pictures and I say that Angel Reese does not want to be an athlete. Let's talk about the moment Angel Reese's fans finally had enough. It's like watching your favorite player miss a wide-open layup. You just can't believe what you're seeing. Angel's always had a loyal fan base, ready to defend her every move. But this New Year's Eve, that's when everything changed. Picture the scene. Angel posts her outfit, probably expecting the usual flood of fire emojis and heart eyes. Instead, the comments section turned into a battlefield. Fans who once sang her praises were suddenly singing a very different tune. But why this time? What made this the straw that broke the camel's back? Some sort of supermodel, some sort of trophy wife for a rich basketball player. She's already been on the record that she wants to date an NBA player and they need to be at least 6'7" tall. That's her whole game. That's her whole agenda. She's not a serious basketball player. Well, it turns out even the most dedicated supporters have their limits. And Angel, she just crossed that line. Let's break it down. Angel's social media presence has been a roller coaster ride from day one. At first, it was all about basketball highlights and team spirit. Then came the selfies, the glamour shots, the sponsored posts. And now, it's like watching a reality TV show where basketball is just a side plot. She plays basketball because she's tall and she's somewhat athletic, not because she has a real love for the game. I'm sure at some point, she did have a real love for the game. Jason Whitlock, never one to hold back, put it bluntly. She's not giving herself any favors. Ouch. But here's the thing. It's not just Whitlock anymore. Other sports commentators are jumping on the bandwagon, and they're not pulling any punches. But once the game started requiring a level of skill that she does not have, I believe she's falling out of love with the game of basketball. That's what this entire first season of the WNBA was about, was like Angel Reese figured out like, holy cow, I could get away with being tall and athletic in college, and I could be a superstar basketball player in college. I got to the WNBA, and in order to be a real superstar, I have to have some level of skill, and I have not. Remember when Angel complained about being sexualized in the media? Well, now she's facing accusations of hypocrisy. Fans are scratching their heads, wondering how she can protest one day and post provocative content the next. It's like she's rebounding her own missed shots. But it's not high criticism, sure, that sexualizes Angel Reese, who has complained about being sexualized. But once again, she's done it to herself. It's a selfie that she took. Some fans are still in Angel's corner, arguing that she should be free to express herself. One supporter hit back at the haters, saying, Angel Reese bothers people because she doesn't fit the stereotypical tomboy-dressed basketball players. Fair point, but is it enough to stem the tide of disappointment? Listen, I have defended Angel Reese for bringing a femininity to women's basketball. People were tired of women's basketball players being very, very manly, presenting themselves as tatted up men rather than as women. But Angel Reese has clearly gone too far. As the backlash grew, Angel made a move that spoke volumes. She reposted a message from a famous singer. Your life is yours, not anybody else's. It's like she's telling the world, I hear you, but I'm gonna do me. Bold, yes. Smart, well, that's up for debate. And then, the ultimate Hail Mary pass. Angel deactivated her Instagram. Just like that, poof, gone. It's got everyone talking. Is this a timeout to refocus on her game? Or is it a sign that the pressure's finally getting to her? Angel Reese knows ain't no fixin' that jump shot. That heave from her hip is not going to be fixed. I don't care how many videos she puts out. Here I am working on my three-point shot, and they'll tie together her making 2, 3, 4 three-point shots in a row. But Angel Reese is not a skilled basketball player. She's never going to be a skilled basketball player. She's going to be a rebounder, and she'll continue to get exposed as a bad offensive player, and that drives her crazy. Remember when Angel Reese was the queen of social media? Well, it looks like her reign might be over. In a move that's left fans scratching their heads, Angel has vanished from Instagram. Poof, gone. Millions of followers left staring at a blank space where her account used to be. But here's the million-dollar question. Is this a publicity stunt? Or is Angel finally hitting the brakes on her social media obsession? Now, before we jump to conclusions, let's take a step back. Angel hasn't completely ghosted us. She's still active on TikTok and Twitter. So what gives? Is this some kind of digital juggling act, or is there more to the story? She can't compete with Caitlin Clark on the basketball court. And so she's going to destroy Caitlin Clark in the looks department, in the, hey guys, look at me, I'm super feminine. And that's the lesson Caitlin Clark needs to learn from all of this. Don't even play the game. Here's where it gets interesting. Angel's not the first athlete to give social media the cold shoulder. Some sports stars have taken a time out from the online world, and you know what? It's actually helped them level up their game. Imagine that. Less scrolling, more scoring. These athletes report being able to focus better on their sport without the constant buzz of notifications. But let's be real for a second. In today's world, an athlete's online presence is like a virtual jersey. It's where fans connect, where brands scout for their next big endorsement, and where players build their personal empires. Experts are saying that a strong social media game can translate to some serious cash and career opportunities. So, is Angel shooting herself in the foot by benching her Instagram? What I do know is, someone in her inner circle needs to tell her no. It's one thing to pose for the swimsuit edition. It's one thing to model bikinis for whatever designer brand is popular right now. But it is completely different when you're exploiting yourself on social media for attention. Jason Whitlock, never one to hold back, has his own take on Angel's disappearing act. He says, "She'll be back. She's too desperate for attention to be gone long." Ouch. But what if Whitlock's got it all wrong? Let's put on our optimist hats for a second. What if this digital detox is exactly what Angel needs? Maybe she's finally realized that her highlight reel should be more about successful layups than thirst traps. Could this be the turning point where Angel Reese transforms from social media maven to basketball machine? Now, let's talk about the elephant in the room. Or should I say, the other 22-year-old in the room. Caitlin Clark. While Angel's been busy playing hide-and-seek with her Instagram followers, Caitlin's been quietly dominating on the court. No drama, no vanishing acts. Just pure, unadulterated basketball brilliance. It's like watching two different movies. One's a soap opera, the other's a sports documentary. Caitlin Clark wants to be a great basketball player. I believe that's her number one priority in life. Unfortunately, Angel Reese wants to be some woman that men desire, and that she's using basketball just to draw attention to herself, to build herself up. Picture this. Two 22-year-old basketball superstars, two totally different playbooks for handling fame. Caitlin Clark's strategy, it's got Jason Whitlock singing her praises. But there's more to this story than meets the eye. What's really fueling Caitlin's rise to the top? Let's talk about Caitlin Clark's Instagram for a second. Unlike Angel's feed, which was a roller coaster of controversy, Caitlin's is like walking into a well-polished basketball hall of fame. It's all hoops, all the time. You see her sinking threes, running drills, and celebrating with her teammates. No glam shots, no party pics, just pure basketball brilliance. It's like she's got blinders on, focused on one thing and one thing only, dominating on the court. But here's where it gets interesting. Some folks might look at Caitlin's feed and think, boring. I mean, where's the drama? Where are the headline-grabbing stunts? But guess what? Her fans can't get enough. They're eating up every post, every highlight, every glimpse into her training routine. It's like they're starving for authenticity in a world of social media, smoke, and mirrors. And it's not just the fans. Jason Whitlock, who's never been shy about calling out athletes, is practically gushing over Caitlin. He says, "She's treated like a professional basketball player because that's how she presents herself." Boom. That's the secret sauce right there. Caitlin's not trying to be an influencer or a celebrity. She's laser-focused on being the best basketball player she can be. But don't think for a second that Caitlin's all work and no play. She's found a way to balance her fierce dedication to basketball with being a role model for young female athletes. Her posts aren't just about her own achievements. They're about inspiring the next generation of ballers. You'll see her interacting with young fans and promoting women's sports. It's like she's building a community, not just a fan base. Now, let's talk about what's happening on the court, because that's where Caitlin really shines. While some players might be distracted by social media drama or off-court antics, Caitlin's putting up numbers that make your head spin. She's breaking records left and right, and she's doing it with a level of consistency that's almost scary. It's like she's playing chess while everyone else is playing checkers. But here's the million-dollar question. How does she do it? How does Caitlin Clark balance the pressure of fame with the intense focus needed to dominate women's basketball? It's not magic, folks. It's good old-fashioned hard work, combined with a laser-like focus on what really matters. Caitlin's figured out that the best way to build her brand is to let her game do the talking. She's not chasing likes or followers. She's chasing greatness on the court, and everything else is falling into place. It's clear that Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark are on very different paths, but here's where it gets interesting. Reese isn't throwing in the towel just yet. Picture this, Angel Reese, gearing up for the inaugural unrivaled 3-on-3 league starting January 17th. Is this her chance to silence the critics and get back to what matters? But let's talk about the bigger picture here. What can young ballers learn from this contrast? It's simple. Focus on your game, not your gram. The court is where legends are made, not in the comments section. As we look ahead to the 2025 WNBA season, keep your eyes on the action, folks. The real drama? It's happening on the hardwood, not on your timeline.